I believe we're live. Yes, we are live. And while I share the link, I would like to take this moment to apologize to all those who can hear the background music behind me. Some very surreal person is singing for Navratri in my residential complex. Alright, hello and welcome everyone to the Indian Racing League Division 2 race around Texas, Circuit of the Americas. What a beautiful track this is. At the moment it's just me, Chipsuma in the comms box, all by my lonesome. Maybe I might have some people join me in the near future. And I assume it's not just me, everybody can hear that music in the background, some background music. I don't know why that's been there since day one in the game, but nonetheless, it's Codemasters. They love to surprise us, or rather, put features in the game, bugs in the game nobody asked for, like the bump around Barcelona. But Barcelona was last week. This is Circuit of the Americas. I like this track. I quite like this track. So I think we have maybe a few people in chat who can let us know what their feelings are towards COTA. And while I do that, I shall quickly invite Shooter because I think he has been disconnected. So I can't find Shooter. I think he is having a few issues. To avoid any possible copyright, I'm just gonna disable music. Caesar, thank me later and please give me some payment for that. It's been long overdue. Yeah. Nonetheless, Swag Boy is gonna be the first driver to start his lap and first lap of the session as well. As a result, rear end stepping out there for Swag Boy, going through turn 2. And forgive me if I don't know my corner numbers. Turn 3, turn 4, let's get on road with him through this section. A bit of a lift up there, I don't think he's very comfortable with the setup right now. And I've already lost track of which turn I was talking about. But that's the end of sector 1 at 25.1, I think it was. And nonetheless, coming down the hill, what a beautiful, majestic shot that is. Spandan has joined the session. Welcome, Spandan. Now entering turn 9, I would like to say. But I'm pretty sure that's incorrect. Alfa Romeo driver going down the DRS straight, DRS open, and battery is being depleted. He is on a lap. I think the driver behind him is Shrikant, who is also on a looks to be a pretty good lap. Shrikant is 3 tenths up in the first sector. Swagboy will end sector 2 any moment now, and he is a 103.556. Let's see what Shrikant is going to be able to achieve following the Alfa Romeo driver. 102.996. So maybe we can be on board with Shrikant as he completes his lap. And a little bit of a tail end slide that just as I switched over to Shrikant. Going through this right-hander of turn, I want to say 16. I really want to say 16, but I'm not sure. Oh, also it was number 16, Charles Leclerc's birthday recently, so do wish him if you haven't already. And there is Shrikant through turn 17, and what I assume is the last turn, turn 18. Swagby goes a 134.169 provisional pole, but I think Shrikant will beat that time. Has a bit of a bad run out the last corner, but it's a 33.598 provisional pole for the Ferrari driver. Oxidize is on a lap. We have a Haas driver coming up to finish their lap. You can beat me. Well, who's his teammate? That's Noble Carter, who is about to start his lap. Let's have a look further back. I see Domithor and Harsh on the lap. Harsh about to approach turn 17. Let's have a look at what Harsh can achieve. A little hesitant with the steering input there. You could see that. And also do keep in mind, this is a sprint weekend. We have a stray yellow flag for some reason. Harsh coming to the line. Championship contender. 33.142. 4 tenths faster than his teammate. That's a very good lap by Harsh there, who we've come to know as one of the fastest drivers and one of the most consistent drivers in Division 2. And I think if he keeps this up, he's going to get a time to learn D1 buddy for Harsh. Tomithor backed out of that lap. Noble's already invalidated. Malav is going to invalidate. Suraj 7. 25.7, a bit further down the back than you would like to be. Not the best first sector time either. Wicked Vicky has also invalidated, while Ramin is going very slowly, terribly slow, and has also invalidated. So maybe we can follow 7 as he is going to come up to the finish line. The only driver who I can see who hasn't invalidated yet. Maybe we can be onboard with somebody who was about to start their lap. Maybe we can go to Rassam a bit later. Let's follow 7 meanwhile. Oh, that was a nice jumping over the curb there, but he keeps it within track limits and in control. Much better run through this section there compared to Shrikant. Shrikant has a little slide there, but the rest of it doesn't matter. Who is that Alpine ahead? Is that Hershey? I think Hershey, it might be. Yeah, it is. It is Hershey. So I'm not sure if Seven will appreciate Hershey being there for the entirety of half of Sector 2 and the entirety of Sector 3 ahead of him, right ahead of him. There you can see, even with these ground effect cars, the dirty air is pronounced when you're that close to a car, and 34.875. I assume without that little bit of an impediment from Hershey, 7 could have been a bit further up. But let's follow Hershey, the driver who we just saw in the shot ahead of 7. So through turn 2 he goes. Let's be on with him till the end of sector 1. So through turns 3, 4, a little bit of a lift off, 5, turn 6. Oh, I have a little moment there, it was a bit deep. Turn 7, turn 8, the top of the hill. This is the highest point of the circuit, I believe, apart from turn 1. And he has a moment. Turn 9 and down towards turn 10 goes the Alpine of Hershey. Yellow flag for an Aston Martin. I think that is Domithor and must be Domithor. Through turn 10, I would like to say. DRS open for the Alpine driver. Hershey is started the back straight. Let's have a look. Domithor is not utilizing battery, so I think he's returned after a bit of a hiatus, Domithor. So I'm not sure if he's just trying to get back up to speed, catch his breath, or just get back in control. And somehow Hershey has managed to invalidate his lap. So that is pretty painful for him. Who would that Haas be? That would be Noble Carter. Noble Carter is on a lap. Noble approaching the fast right-hander of turn 16, the triple right-hander. I really appreciate this turn. It's a very challenging turn. The racing line may give you a particular line, but oh, who's that car ahead? Who is that ahead? Dr. McLaren. It might be Spandan, it might be Jin, but whoever it is, I don't think Noble and him are going to be very good friends at the moment. I think that might be, that is Spandan. So Spandan on his return, the moment he joins the lobby, he is back to his usual job of causing a bit of chaos there for everyone around him, and Noble is the first victim. Spandan not being very kind there to Noble. I'm interested and surprised to see Domithor not attempting laps. So I think he's loaded up his car with fuel. He is going to treat this quali session as a practice session effectively. Shooter is on a lap. So let me just get my numbers straight. If I can just quickly pull up the points table, if I still remember how to do that before my Wi-Fi starts acting up. I think it is Shooter in the lead, but not by much from Harsh. Harsh currently a 133.142. What can Shooter do? Shooter has been very rapid this entire season, and it's a 102.856. So I think he's a 10th up on Harsh. What Harsh managed to achieve on his best lap. Harsh, speaking of, is on an out lap. So with 8.5 minutes left in the session, I think that this could really come down to the wire at the end of the session. We could see the top two separated by about 10th or so. That's what I'm going to put it at, a 10th. That's a bit of a big gap, but I think it's reasonable between these two. What can Shooter do? Coming up to the line, Aston has a much better run through the last corner and goes P2, a 142 and a 161. So there's a gap of, let me calculate that, 19 milliseconds between the top two. I think that speaks volumes about the competitiveness in D2 between these two. That is remarkably close. And I sincerely thank them for making it so enjoyable for all of us. Shrikant has invalidated. Oxidize is just starting his lap. Oxidize in P3. A very good effort from the Red Bull driver. Yellow flag for somebody on the back straight. Not entirely sure who that would be. Let's be on board with Oxidize, who is very much in control. And it's been a bit of a trend with Oxidize and also Deadly Mosquito. I don't see Deadly Mosquito today in the field. But these two have a bit of a history of qualifying brilliantly and having some brilliant pace, but just being unable to keep the car pointing in a straight line. And that's really hurt their chances of a championship and such. Oh, my apologies. It is Harsh in the lead from Shooter by 14 points coming into Texas. So Harsh having the advantage. Hello, Sidvi, nice to see you. Am I a goat? Well, I'm grateful for that. And Pratham, a 32.697. I think Sidvi, he's the goat, Pratham, right here. 444. 0.444 rather, sorry. That's the better way to put it. What a remarkable lap from Pratham. I think some D1 drivers, myself, might struggle to match that tomorrow. Given that I'm not very good at qualifying, but getting back, that is a majestic lap from Pratham. I must say that is remarkable. And Oxidize just goes over the line to go P2. Harsh is about to come up to the finish line. What can Harsh do? Raman is about to cross the line. Raman goes into P4. But what can Harsh do? Harsh crosses the line. He does improve his time, but not his position. He stays in third place. But it's game on for Shooter. Shooter needs to improve. He's down by 3.5 tenths. 6 minutes left in the session. I think if I was Shooter, I might want to consider boxing and coming out on a new set. Thing is, I don't know how much this track evolution is effective around here. Jin on a lap, no, he's invalidated. 7 is down the back straight. 4 tenths down on his personal best, so I'm not sure this is a very representative lap. Harshi going towards up the hill at turn 1. Wow, that's a beautiful sight, and he has spun. Wow, that is not a beautiful sight. 7 is down by 3 tenths on his personal best. Wicked Vicky. Wicked Vicky's been a bit of an outlier in this championship. I'm not sure. Let me have a look at where he stands in the points table. Wicked Vicky is P4. So we haven't seen too much from Wicked Vicky. Not too many podiums or wins over the course of the season, but he's always been there thereabouts. And there you go, P3. So the championship contenders are currently P4 and P6. Shrikant still holds P3 in the standings despite having a bit of a bad run of form. He did get a podium in the last race. He lost the lead on the last lap. Sidvi saying that the main race is wet, and I assume that means the sprint is going to be a dry one. So, yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is a sprint weekend. And wow, that's a aggressive entry by Harsh. Understandably so. The clock is running out, and it's time to get back to the pits as fast as he can. Malav is on 4-lap old soft tires, and he is still trundling on. I'm surprised why Haas haven't put up a special livery, or rather why the Haas special livery isn't in the game. Codemasters, you are brilliant. Sidvi, thank you. The sprint is going to be dry, and the main race is going to be wet around midway through the main race. So currently it is Pratham in the clear by almost 2 tenths from Oxidized Rage, who is very fast. And I'm going to silence my phone. My apologies, I don't exactly know how to do that on this particular device. Yeah, there you go. There you go. My phone is on mute, thank you. Apologies for that. Malav has retired from the session. I think Rasam just passed his car. So Malav having a bit of a torrid end to qualifying. Nonetheless, I don't assume he was going to be doing a lap anyways. So yeah, Wicked Vicky into the box, and Rasam's going to be the first car to set their lap. I see a McLaren out on track. That must be Spandan, who is on a hot lap, and Sidvi saying that Malav trying to do in a zone. We do miss a zone. It's been quite a while since we've seen him. I think that is about right. Domitor should be able to beat Malav with one good quali attempt. Spandan is improving on his time, and drivers are starting to file out onto the track. Swag Boy, who was the first driver out on track, if you remember, at the start of qualifying, he is about to go through turn 2. And saying काम नहीं होगा, Azun is Azun. That is true, Azun is Azun. He is. I think Azun can usually stay alive till the first turn. Usually. It is D1 and D2 after all. But yeah, nonetheless. Rahman going down the hill. Swag Boy. Oh, I missed that cinematic shot. Let me see if I can get somebody else. On that cinematic shot, Spandan, if I'm not wrong, his tires will be pretty much crying for help at this moment, but I think Spandan can finish this lap, go for a charge lap, and nonetheless, never mind, he will have to do a no, he's boxing. That's quality hope of a Spandan. He's going to be no better than P11, and the guy ahead of him is Jin. These two came to blows in Qatar, if you remember, and that was very remarkable to watch. I see an Alpine of Izzat Harshi. Let's have a look if we can capture that brilliant, brilliant cinematic shot. Yes, Abhishek. Hi, Abhi. It is a sprint weekend. Surprised you are very high in this championship and you're not aware with what. Wow, that's a beautiful shot. But nonetheless, Abhi, you're showcasing your prowess. You don't even know what kind of race weekend we're gonna have, but yet you're gonna be, I say a 10th around pole. That's my prediction. I think the fix is pretty good, well sorted for the race weekend. But nonetheless, welcome Abhi, welcome Sidvi to the chat, and please do let me know your predictions for the final classification. Noble on a lap. I think Noble will be the only driver to be able to. Who's going to be able to do another lap? Nobody else will be able to do another lap if they mess their flying lap up. Mess up their flying lap, sorry. And that's a bit of a grammatical falling head over heels. Yeah, Spandan exiting the pit lane, but I'm not sure he can get to the line. He can't get to the line in time. That's quality over for Spandan before it even started, really. Noble. Let's have a look what Noble can do. Many drivers on their hot laps. Let's have a look at Harsh, followed by Raman. Shooter is a long way back behind these two, but nonetheless, he's right behind them in the classification. And Sidvi saying Pratham, Oxidize and Harsh in any order. Alright, so you don't have much trust in Wicked Wiki, it seems. And Harsh, is he going slow? No, that's just lag on my end. And the Ferrari, what a majestic shot. And we're going to have a nice look at this. And there you go, the Mercedes of Raman going through turn 9 or 8. I can't keep saying numbers like that. Harsh approaching the end of sector 2. Shooter starting to approach turn 2. So let's have a look at Harsh. He's going to get to the end of sector 2 before Shooter does, definitely. Before Raman as well. Harsh is, I can't see that. He's up by 2/10, so that could prove very crucial come the end of quali. Pratham is also on that. That's a checkered flag. Pratham is on a lap. Raman, I couldn't see his time. Shooter's up by just a 10th and a half in the first sector, but that could change come the second sector. There's a car ahead of him that's going to be a Mercedes of 7, I believe, is going to give him a nice tow. Harsh through turn 17, but he's gone wide, and that's it. That's curtains for Harsh. What about Raman? Can Raman keep it within the lines? He can. Harsh's lap has been ruined by his own greed to get a bit too fast there, and Raman improves his time but not his position. What about Wicked, Vicky, Oxidize and Pratham? Pratham spun! Oh no, Alpine. Oxidize coming up to the same place where Pratham had a moment, and even he has a bit of a moment. Wicked Vicky going through the triple right-hander, turn 16, keeps it within track limits. Let's have a look. Through turn 17, he went a bit too much on the curbing there. People have crossed the lane. Harsh, what's happened? How's Harsh magically just gone to P2? Oh, what's going on? What's going on? Pratham is done for. Shooter goes P2. And I'm not sure what happened to Harsh, how Harsh magically jumped up to P2 for a brief moment there. Srikanth can do no better than P7. Swagboy, what can he do? Swagboy is almost out of battery. That shows you that he's had a brilliant lap, or maybe he just used too much battery. But Swag to the line, he's 8/10 down on his time. Never mind. And what can Jin do? He's 8/10 up. I think Jin could get into the area of Srikanth and Noble Gata. There you go, right between the pair of them. And that's it for qualifying. Pratham is gonna box, and with that, quali is over. Pratham on pole, followed by Shooter. There is 7 milliseconds separating them. Wicked Vicky is less than a 10th behind. Harsh is just over a 10th behind Pratham. Oxidize a bit further back. Hello, Ajitesh Chandran. How you want to learn how to sign up to race? I think there's going to be a vacancy. Some guy called Redstone Derp will be forced to leave the server soon, so I think you may be able to get in his spot. Please do contact Caesar, Mercurial Caesar. He's the supreme leader of this server, and he's a very nice guy, usually. Yeah. And that's it. That's qualifying done for. Please do let us know your predictions for sprint and the main race. And there you go, confirmation that 7 milliseconds separate P1 and P2, but glory goes to Pratham. Shooter in P2, Wicked Vicky's P3. Harsh is going to start P4. He is just over a tenth behind Pratham. Oxida is just over a tenth and a half behind Pratham. Raman's P6. Shrikant is P7. Jin is going to be P8. Noble's P9 and Swag rounds of the top 10. Domithor, Spandan, Rasam 7, Harshi, and Malav did not. They're outside the top 10. They did not score. I'm getting too ahead of myself. This is not the main race yet. Hello, Jishnu. Hello, Redstone. Nice to see you all. And yes, Redstone, unfortunately, I am doing comms alone. There is nobody joining me today. Yeah. And I will turn on the music. It's getting a bit too quiet in here, given that I'm all by myself. Yeah, that's enough of that. But yeah, it's time for the main race. Sorry, the sprint race. I'm getting a bit too there, and Sid V. It is gloomy conditions. Very quickly, audio settings. Yeah. Even though there's some music in the background, that's fine. I need something to accompany me, somebody to accompany me. And there is going to be no formation lap as far as I know, so when the lights go out, they are going to be underway. I'm really looking forward to seeing what these drivers can achieve here. And yeah, yes, Redstone I do. However, it would be nice to have somebody along with me to interrupt my monologue. 1 light, 2 light, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights in the glorious Lone Star state of Texas. It's gonna be lights out, and away we go for the sprint race. Shooter gets a better start than Pratham as they go up the hill towards turn 1. I think it's Harsh Shooter who has the inside line and the advantage as a result, but Pratham gets superior traction and he's ahead. Shooter has a bit of a bad run there. Further back I see some incidents going on, positions being traded. Harsh and Wicked Vicky has jumped. Shooter's not got a very good race start, and as they go through this SS section, Harsh is right on the back of his championship rival. Spandan already picking up the first penalty. Blood, try to complete the sector, man. Sorry for that. Pratham has built up a lead of 5.5 tenths as he go to the back straight, and 7's all the way at the back of the field. So I think 7 had a bit of a coming together with somebody. A few drivers on the softs, a few on the mediums, and that's Harsh on the softs, and he's using battery and he has the slipstream. And is he gonna go for a dive down the inside at turn 11? I want to say he will. Will Shooter give him the space? Shooter will. He's a very respectful driver, Shooter. Oxide is gonna get a very good view of all this, and they make contact, the two championship rivals. Slight contact, not too problematic for either of them. And is Shooter still ahead? Oxida is looking to sniffing for an opportunity. Shrikant has made up a position. I think Jin has made up a few as well. And what's this going on here? 3-car battle. It's Swag Boy, Rasam and Raman. Raman's fallen back at the race start. Not been a very good race start for him. But what about these two, Shooter and Harsh? They are being challenged by more and more drivers over the course of the remainder of the season. Pratham leads the way, 6 tenths away ahead of Wicked Vicky as we start lap 2. And yes, Redstone Swiggy Boy still races. Malav and Harshi trading places. Harshi getting ahead of Malav. I'm not sure what's happening to Malav, but nonetheless we go through turn 2 on board with Domithor, who is having a bit of a quiet race right now. So it's Harsh, Raman, and You Can Beat Me on those soft tires. It's been a horrible start for Raman, and 7 has also fallen back quite a bit. But it's been a very good start for Domithor, Noble, Jin and Shrikant, and also Wicked Vicky. Shooter has fallen back, but there you go. Shooter is making amends for the mistake at the race start. So the wider line at the restart is going to be very crucial. We can see that come the main race, and who's that Red Bull? That must be Oxidized, who had a bit of a tail end snap there, trying to chase after Harsh. And speaking of, the drivers ahead of Harshi. Harsh's namesake. Rasam and Spandan very close. Spandan we know to be one of the more aggressive drivers. Jin and Noble battling. Noble going down the inside, leaving Jin enough room to exist and more. That's a nice bit of racing respect between the pair of them. And Spandan's made the move on Rasam, I believe. And Ajitesh saying that Oxidized crash incoming. I don't want to say much, but that's usually, unfortunately, how it ends for him. It's very unfortunate that he has so much potential and so much pace, but usually, and there you go, Shrikant with a track limit penalty. And people are upset with Redstone having said that, so that's a season ban for Redstone. I will inherit all his points as a result. Shooter gets the fastest lap, 136.053, DRS is enabled. This is going to be crucial down the back straight. Harsh, what can Harsh do at this point? He has to make moves. He is on those soft tires, so mind you, he will run out of tires come the end of the race. Wow, that's a majestic set of camera angle. Helicopter, and wow, I'm just gonna take this moment here and oh sorry, I'm not gonna change that. Oh, that is beautiful. 6 cars in one shot. 2 Ferraris, 1 Aston, 2 Red Bulls and 1 Alpine. But as it turns out, Alpine is love, at least in this moment. Wicked Vicky has a good run out of turn 10, I want to say, and onto the back straight we go. Any of these 6 drivers could be looking for the lead here. What about Wicked Vicky? Is gonna go for a dive. He decides against it. What is Shooter gonna do? Shooter also decides against it. Harsh gets a bit too close there. Shrikant has a bit of a moment. Noble, Jin and Domathor are coming very close together, close to one another, and I just realized sorry for that. I haven't turned on the lap data. Yeah, I was wondering what I've missed out on. Further back, everyone is well spaced out. Malav needs to make a few moves before his tires run out of life. But I think this is Shooter's moment to shine, and above all else, it's necessary for Harsh to come out and shine in this moment. Because his tires will run out. I assume it's going to be lap 6. At the end of lap 6, his tires are going to be crying for help. So he needs to make moves pronto. Immediatement. Yeah, we're not in France anymore. France was a few weekends ago. Malav with the fastest lap. You don't usually see that. Well done, Malav. I'm going to give you some screen time as well as a result. Enjoy your little bit of screen time here. And there you go. Back to the action up front. Harsh approaching the end of sector 1. 3 turns down on his personal best. Oxidize and Shrikant trade places. Oxidize, there you go. Redstone, as you said, there is something going on with Oxidize. He is losing a few places. But I don't think he's lost all momentum yet. It's not all is lost for Oxidize. He needs to unlock the rage in his username and go a bit aggressive with Shrikant, which I think he might do on the back straight. And let's have a look. I don't think there are too many moves which are being made on the back straight. Apart from this one, Oxidize and Shrikant coming very close to one another, but no contact. Oxidize gets past the Ferrari driver, who cannot do anything again in retaliation. So these drivers are using up a fair bit of battery, I must say. And Pratham, meanwhile, is managing his battery very well. So he's doing an exceptional job. He has 6 cars right on his tail. He is struggling. He is feeling the effects of the pressure, mind you. It's not all smooth sailing for him, but he is coping with it much better than a few others would. And we are going to be starting lap 5. And Shrikant picks up a penalty. So I'll just say this. He is lucky that those behind him are also battling amongst one another. And as a result, they are struggling with they're losing some time to this leading pack, and Shrikant might, if he has good pace, he might just be able to pull out a bit of a gap to the driver behind Jin, who, yeah, he's there. He's already gained 3 tenths in just the main straight. I think Jin is in a very good position. Jin could hold up Noble and Domathor. Domathor just 1 position shy of scoring a point in the sprint race. Further back, Rasam and Spandan still engaging in battle. What can these two do? Let's have a look up ahead though, and that's a beautiful camera angle which I realized I changed very late. Yeah, and Spandan picks up another penalty. There you go. Second of the race. If Abhishek was here, he would be very pleased to see that Spandan is doing his daily bidding very well. Sorry, weekly bidding very well, of ensuring that he gets a penalty every race. Wicked Vicky should look against making a move there. Shooter is stuck. There's a fast car behind him, and there are 2 very fast cars ahead of him who are tussling. Domathor and Swagboy and Domathor trading places, and now the Alfa Romeo is ahead, and Shooter, and no, that was just the position trading. Never mind, I shall change that, and we shall have a look. So Pratham, he is feeling the heat. He's feeling the effects of the pressure mounting up on him, and because he's making a few mistakes here, Shooter. What can Shooter do? It's imperative that Shooter also make a move. His tires will be overheating at this point, and I think he may go for a dive into turn 1. Shooter using a bit of battery. Will he? No, he does not. Harsh a bit further back. Harsh is almost out of battery. And it's not looking very good for the two Ferraris. The championship, Constructors' Championship is also looking a bit dicey at the moment. Ramen is tumbling down the order and he might lose a position to Rasam as well. No, he will not. But Ramen's coming back for more. On Spandan, this is the only battle that's going on at the moment. We will go to the top few in just a moment. Ramen has a bit of a mistake through the SS section, and there you go, just 3.5 tenths, 2.5 tenths, less than 2 tenths. I think it might become very soon. Separate Shooter and Wicket Vicky. Harshi picks up a penalty, and Abhishek thinks that Harsh is surely going to start struggling soon. I think so. This might be the lap. I believe that his tires will just stop being at their peak. They'll start to fall off the cliff. Wicket Vicky trying to go for a move around the outside. Will he be able to make it stick? I think Pratham will give him a good defense. And Wicket Vicky can't do much. Is this going to open up a window for Shooter though to make a move? Around the outside, down the inside? Nowhere. Nothing doing at this moment. And Wicket Vicky is still hassling Pratham. Pratham is under immense pressure. And Wicket Vicky can't do anything. Further back, there are a few positions being created. Domathor and Swekba engaged in a very respectful battle by the looks of it. I can't really follow it because this is a titanic battle. This is for the lead. Mind you, 6 cars have been at it for the lead of the race since since the second lap. So it's remarkable. You don't see this in D1. D1 is too spread out at the moment. But D2, trust D2 to give you some brilliant action. Harsh is definitely struggling now. He's 8 tenths behind Shooter, and Oxidize will probably be able to get him down the back straight if Harsh doesn't get a very good run. Srikanth had a bit of a snap there. Lost some time to Jin, Spandan and Raman. Raman and Spandan, because Spandan is off the track. He's lost 2 places and might lose the second one to Spandan. To Rasam, sorry. Yeah, Spandan's lost some time. Swag Boy picks up a penalty. What can Shooter do? I've been saying this for 7 laps now. Not done much, Shooter, over the course of the sprint, but yeah, anything's possible. Harsh, there you can see he was struggling to turn in very nicely, and I think that's why you don't go for softs at the race start. What about these two? Wicket Vicky and Pratham very close, nothing doing. Harsh coming very close. Harsh almost running into the back of his team championship rival, not his teammate there, sorry. But Oxidize gets a good run out of that section, has a bit of a rear snap, so does Harsh. Srikanth further back, he is also not having a very good time, the other Ferrari. So at this moment, only the 2 Ferraris are it's also the two Red Bulls and 2 Ferraris are the only teams scoring double points in the sprint. At the moment, we're gonna start lap 8. Once we cross the line, we're gonna have 3 laps left in the sprint race. And oh, there you go. Pratham is feeling the effects of pressure. And I regret turning the music on. It's a bit distracting now. The ambient music around the track. Harsh a bit too far back at the moment from Shooter. And I must say the one good thing, the 7 pitted, he put on a fresh set of medium tires. But I don't assume that it was a rather smart decision. We haven't seen a single safety car. And Harshi has retired. Is that gonna be a safety car? And for 7's sake, I wish I had said that a few laps earlier than I did. But yeah, on lap 8, Harshi has crashed. Domathor and Swegboy. So I think Swegboy let Domathor go just to get his DRS, and I think that's what Sweg's been doing all the way throughout the race. Domathor gets a better exit. Up ahead, I think nothing's gonna happen here. Wicket Vicky, Shooter and Pratham stay as they are. Srikanth can't do much, and there you go. This is why I just wanted to focus on this. Wow! Side swiping down the back straight between these two. Very Tinder-like moment there. Up ahead, they're all just following each other in tandem. If Harsh can just keep his car within track limits and stay close to Shooter, he should have P4 secured. Because at this point, he knows he's fighting for a championship. So does Shooter, so they don't want to take any undue or unnecessary risks that will cause them points. So if Shooter can gain, he's guaranteed 6 points at this moment. Why would he risk getting 1 extra point, but then in the process also lose the 6 he's guaranteed at the moment? I think Shooter might not go for too many drastically aggressive or high risk moves, he will stay as he is. Malev in the pit lane, he might retire, I think, or he might go for a fastest lap. So I'm not sure who has the fastest lap at the moment. We shall have a look. It's 35.9. It is Malev, so I'm not sure what he's trying to do. Is he trying to secure the fastest lap? No, he's going to retire. Shrikant coming up to the backside of Oxidize and has a bad run through that section and is going to fall back a little bit. But then again, for the 9th lap in a row, these 6 cars are going to follow each other as they have been. Noble has now been released from being stuck behind Jin, and I think if this little posse ahead doesn't get their move on, they will. I think Shrikant will lose some time to Noble, and as a result, might lose out on P6. That's 3 points at the moment. Shooter can't do much. Neither can Harsh. What's going on further back? This is my favorite battle. Oh, Spandan going for a dive! Cutting the corner there, almost hitting Raman, almost T-boning the Merc driver. And Rasam can't do much. Spandan is giving him a bit of a headache, and Spandan taking some odd lines through there, as we know as classic Spandan. We are going to start the last lap of the race, and let's have a look up ahead. The battle for P12 is more interesting than the battle for P1 at the moment. But yeah. Shooter still right there, thereabouts, and let's have a look at my favorite battle at the moment. Nothing going on, and while these 6 drivers navigate the S's for one last time in the sprint race, I would like to ask our viewers what you all think the predictions are for the strategy and also for the top 3 in the main race, because this has been a very straightforward affair. Pratham has led from the get-go. Shooter messed it up at the race start, went a bit too acute into the corner and lost out on grip to Wicked Vicky and hasn't been able to regain that since. Harsh has stayed where he is. He could not make the most of those soft tires. Oxidize has also stayed where he is. Shrikant, despite his 3-sec penalty, will finish where he started. No, he started one position behind. Yeah, so he started in P7. He will finish P6. And yeah, so very straightforward. What's going on here? My favorite battle at the moment. Harsh has fallen back by 1.3, and this has opened up a door for Oxidize. Finally, we get to see some action in the top 4 for P4. Shrikant getting very close to the back of the Red Bull. The Red Bull getting very excited. Harsh himself struggling to keep it under control. His tires are crying out for help, but by the looks of it, so are Oxidize's tires. Up ahead, nothing's going on here. What's going to happen here? I think it's all going to be smooth sailing. And Pratham is going to cross the line and win the sprint race, followed by Wicked Vicky and Shooter. Harsh is going to finish P4 barely ahead of Oxidize and Shrikant. Wow. And Shrikant will retain P6 in the end there. Jin will finish Noble finish P7 and Jin will finish P8. Domathor, Swagboy, Spandan, Raman, what's going on here? A brilliant battle to the line, and who's that? Rasam almost into the wall there. And 7 is a long way back, so while he comes up to the line, I will disable my audio because, the music, because that is very annoying while doing comms. I'm going to reduce it a bit. And there you go, 7 is going to be the last of the finishers. Spandan with his million-second penalties is going to finish P13. He's going to lose a position, and 7 comes up to the line. We're going to shift our focus to Pratham, who has won the race at Spain in the very last lap. And he's led from the first lap till the last lap of the sprint here in Texas, and he has won the race. Now comes time for the main race. So please do give your predictions for the main race. What do you think is going to be possible for the drivers? So Pratham holds on to his P1 spot. Wicked Vicky is just over 6.5 tenths behind him. Just over 6 tenths behind him. Shooter less than a second behind Pratham, so that just shows you how close it was at the top. Harsh messed up in the last lap. I think his tires just gave way. He finishes P4, Oxidize finishes P5. Good points for Oxidize. Shrikant finishes P6 despite that penalty. Noble finishes in P7 and Jin picks up the last point in the sprint with P8. Domathor is P9, made up 2 places. Raman falls back quite a bit. He finishes P10. Rasam, Segboy, Spandan 7 and Malav and Harshi were our non-finishers. And with that, pretty straightforward sprint comes to an end, and we now move on to the main race. So please do give your predictions for what do you expect to see in the main race? It is sunny skies, but as you know, Sidvi has given us some insider information that the race is going to be wet in the mid part of the race. So I can expect around I'll put a prediction of lap 16 for the rain to arrive. That is going to throw quite a few drivers off, and I'm not sure if the rain is going to go away. I think it might. It might just be a passing shower. So once again, there's going to be no formation lap. So I'm going to just take a moment to drink some water here. And viewers, please do keep yourself hydrated for the main race and give your predictions for what you think the top 3 might be in the main race. So here we go. Any moment now we should have the lights come on ahead of the drivers in the Lone Star State, and I think it looks straightforward for Pratham. It will be a bit difficult for him, but yeah. And it's going to be 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights ahead of the drivers, and that's going to be lights out, and away we go. Wicket Vicky gets a very good start from the clean side of the track. Pratham does not get a very, very good start. He's already lost the position to Wicket Vicky, but as you saw at the sprint race start, is Pratham going to have the better grip around the outside? He does, and Srikanth already picks up a penalty. Pratham and Wicket Vicky, something happened there to Pratham. He backed off there a bit, and yeah, somehow Srikanth has fallen down the order, and Spandan has got a penalty for cutting a corner and gaining 2 places. But there you go, the top 5 stay as they are, and we have Raman now in P6, who's got a very good start from what I believe, from P11 up to P6, is it? Yeah. Oh, you have a yellow flag for the back 4. Oh, 3 cars! Oh, all inside one another, that too. That's not something you usually hear. That's a prolonged yellow flag. It might be a safety car, so that's You Can Beat Me, Domitor and Rasam involved in an accident by the looks of it. But they've all got through with it. Harsh and Shooter and Pratham. What's going on here? This is going to be so close. I think that Shooter's position. It's a position gain for Shooter, but Pratham goes down the inside, goes for the dive there. That's quite aggressive by Pratham, and Shooter will not be appreciative of that, as we can see. Harsh going for the dive, double dive, and he makes it stick, but he loses it on traction, and Shooter has gained the position. Pratham will still be battling with Harsh, and these two coming very close, almost running each other into the wall there. Hello Caesar, nice to see you. Please join me. If you're not doing anything right now, please join me in the comms box if you like. It would be nice to have the Supreme Leader in the comms box after quite a while. I think it's Baku D2 last season that you win the comms box. And yeah, lap data is enabled, and Swag going for a dive, hitting Raman off the track. So that is not sure what's causing drivers to be so aggressive. Spandan and Raman came a bit too close for comfort there, and Jin. Wow, this is getting remarkably close between these two McLaren drivers who are supposed to be teammates but are fighting like championship rivals. Oh my word, Zach Brown is gonna be so cross with them, the pair of them, for doing that. Spandan could have left him a bit more space in my opinion there, but that's racing. We do carry on as we are. Once again, the two drivers, Spandan and Jin, come to blows. Srikanth on the back of Noble Garter. So Noble and Srikanth both haven't had very good starts. Let's also have a look at the tyre situation at this moment in time. So the top 4 are all on mediums. Oxlade is on hards. Swag is on softs. Spandan on mediums. Raman on hards. Noble and Srikanth on mediums. 7 is on hards. So he's going for the long run. He's going to stay in here for the long game. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Jin is on mediums, Harshi is on the softs. He is disconnected, sorry. So I assume I will have to send an invite to Harshi. Domitor is, what is Spandan doing? Domitor has pitted onto soft, so has Rasam. You Can Beat Me is on hards, and there you go, Shooter with the fastest lap. I will take a moment to very quickly send an invite to Harshi before, can I? I think I should be able to. Yeah. I can't find Harshi. So Harshi, forgive me, but I will not be able to send you an invite right now. Harsh is a bit further back, and Caesar saying that he's at the airport. Have a good flight, Caesar. wherever you are traveling to. Have a nice flight and do let us know your podium predictions. The top three. What's the top three going to be for the main race? Wicked Vicky leads the way. Shooter is P2. Pratham, who led every lap of the sprint, is now in P4. And Harsh having a massive tail and slide there. Are his tires already heating up? By the looks of it, they are. So I think that Harsh is in a bit of a problematic spot here. With DRS enabled, Shooter could not make the move on this occasion, but I think he might look to make it at a more strategic point on the track. Shrikant and Noble are just going to switch over to them. Noble losing the place to Shrikant, and the Ferrari driver moving up into P9. Up ahead, let's have a look. Yeah, nothing going on here. 7 is in P11. That doesn't rhyme. But yeah, I think he would want to be in P7. This is the leader of that pack, which 7 is at the end of. So 7 chasing P7. And the man in P7 is Spandan. Behind him is Raman Shrikant. Raman's going to be a bit cross with that moment at turn 1. I think that was the previous lap. So lap 4, Wicked Vicky still leads, but not by much from Shooter, who needs to play his cards very well. If he messes this up, he is going to be in a whole world of trouble. Raman and Shrikant trading places, and Shrikant kissing the rear end of that Merc. Thankfully though, I don't think they had too many issues there as they went through turn 2. And Raman has a moment that is going to open up a window for Shrikant. Shrikant does not take that window. Instead, he creates a door with it and barges his way past the Mercedes driver. I don't think Raman would have liked that very much. And yeah, Noble Gata is now in contention to make a move on Raman. But Raman himself will probably be making a move on Shrikant, because Shrikant will not get DRS. But somebody who has DRS and who has made the move is Shooter on Wicked Vicky. And Wicked Vicky's lost the lead to Shooter. Harsh now in P3. I'm not sure what's up with Harsh. Maybe he doesn't have the right setup, because he's not able to challenge Wicked Vicky and Shooter as much as I thought he would be able to. Or maybe Shooter's just that much more comfortable at the moment in this car. What's happened to Rassam? Rassam's had a spin. So Rassam going for a bit of a spin there. Not sure why that's happened to him, but yeah, there you go. Jane has pitted onto a set of soft tires. And yeah, trying to salvage something from this race. No safety cars at the moment. This is getting very straightforward, and Raman picks up a penalty. So I'm not sure. I don't think Raman's having a very good race here tonight. I think he may be able to get one of those warnings removed, but he needs to keep it clean for the remainder of the race. Or he will not be able to get that removed. Wicked Vicky, can he get back past Shooter? Shooter's not really been able to pull away either. So I think this pack here, the top 4, are much closer to one another than they would have expected to be. Oxidize is 3.5 seconds behind, Swag is 2.2 behind, and we're just on lap 5. Feels like an eternity, and that's because we've also had a sprint race just before this main race. Noble Gata chasing after Shrikant. What can Noble do? I don't think Noble can do much here, but he might be able to make a move down the back straight. Up ahead, any moves being made? Will Wicked Vicky go for an aggressive move? He comes very close to the rear end, and that's going to open up the door for Harsh to make a move in the Ferrari. But no, the championship leader cannot do anything on this occasion. Spandan and Swag Boy. I think Spandan once again went for his characteristic aggressive move, and Swag Boy and Spandan make slight contact, and this is going to possibly open up a door for Noble Gata to get interested. Why am I not getting those helicopter shots game? Come on. I don't want this sideways angle. It doesn't show too much. But yeah. 7 and Raman are in the same race at the moment. I would have expected them to split strategies, the two Mercs, but by the looks of it right now, they are in the same race. I think if Raman is struggling, he might let 7 by, but I don't think that they should do that right now. And Ajitesh with a very kind remark about Qatar's airport. Not the Lusail airport, the Doha airport, yeah. Not everything in Qatar is Lusail. For racing F1 fans it might be, but yeah. Oxidize is in a world of his own right now, driving very cleanly, driving very quietly, not doing much. Spandan and Swag Wow, this is gonna be interesting. Come the back straight, and Noble Ghat is also caught up. So has Shrikant Das, so has Raman, and 7 is still there. So the battle for P6 now. Rasam with the 3-sec penalty. He's done in P15. It won't really be very good. And oh, Spandan has had a moment. Swag, let's open up the window for Swag Boy. Noble Garter also looking to make a move, double move possibly, but Noble Garter has to swipe across the entirety of the track, and I think Noble might just have this move made, and he does. So that's Noble Garter making up 2 places on 1 straight, and the losers in this case was Spandan and Swag Boy. Too much battling did not give them any benefit there, and they both lost a position to Noble Garter. That's a very good move by Noble. I do agree. Yes, Redstone, that was a very good move. Very, very good move. But now it's time for Shrikant to make some moves. Swag's tires will be crying for help. I'm not sure what Spandan can do. He can definitely pick up another penalty. Shrikant going for the dive there on Spandan. I don't think he judged it very well because he's lost a bit of time to Swag in the process, and this is going to open up a door for Raman possibly as they go up the hill towards turn 1. Shrikant has the inside line. Spandan tries to make an offensive, but he can't do much, and he's lost the place to Shrikant as well. So Spandan falling from P6 to P9 in just a 1.5 sector. That has been absolutely torrid luck for him. But I must say the top few are very close to one another, and there's a little pack forming. There's a pack forming behind P6, and there's a pack following P1. So up ahead, Wicked Vicky is still holding position for now. Shooter's obviously having to deploy a lot more battery than Wicked Vicky is. Harsh is also deploying quite a bit of battery, I must say. Wicked Vicky getting close but can't do much. Let's go further back to my favorite battle. The minor points positions always give the best battles in IRL, I feel. Spandan, is he going to lose a place to Raman as well? Down the back straight. As you go into the end of sector 2, Spandan leaves them the space. They both are fighting on traction. I think Raman might have the upper hand, given that Spandan's been off track a few times. And Spandan and Raman come close, but not too close. And never mind, they are very close, but Spandan, then again, he's been fighting too many drivers, and at this point, last lap, he had just lost 2 places, and now he is down 4. He's fallen down to P10. He was P6 at the previous lap, and there you go, once again he goes white. So Spandan either is not enjoying his setup or his tires have given up on him, and I'm surprised Swag's tires are still hanging on. I think Swag should look to box maybe within the next lap or so for hard tires and bring it home, because I don't think there's going to be a safety car here. Quite positive there's not going to be a safety car in this race, but prove me wrong. I would love if somebody could prove me wrong here. Domithor, after that initial contact, he hoped for a safety car. It hasn't been provided to him. Malav also a long way back. Harshi, Rasam and Jin. Not sure. And Spandan picks up another penalty. So he is getting dangerously close to being disqualified at this point. It's lap 8 and he has 14 seconds of penalties. Effectively, on an average, and you can't really do averages in F1 because the penalty is not awarded like that, he's picked up 2 seconds of penalties every single lap on average, and Swag loses the place to Shrikant. Is he going to go for a dive? He better not. It's not going to be in his best interest to lose any more time, but not when Shrikant is making mistakes like that. Shrikant has the inside line, Swag on the outside, almost squeezed out of track there. They make contact, the 2 Ferrari engined cars. Spandan and 7 very close. Spandan losing the place to 7, so goes for a nice dive down the inside, and Swag has spun. So his soft tires really have given up on him. Spandan and 7 still battling, and 7 has the better drive, the better grip, but Spandan has the better line through that corner. And there you go. Swag is going to be boxing, I have no doubt about that. I think he should box, and oh, that is borderline close to the red area that Caesar demarcated as the line you should not cross while entering the pit lane, and Jin gets past Rasam, who is now the driver in last place. And there you go, once again the field has kind of stagnated, so if anyone can let me know what their predictions are going to be for the top three, or give me a very random prediction. Like, what's the lap time of 7 gonna be at the end of lap 9? Something very weird like that. Just let's compare that. We don't really have too much to discuss right now. So anybody in chat, please do let me know your very wild predictions. Once again, Wicked Vicky stays behind shooter. A yellow flag for Russell, who's retired, and that's a safety car. So the moment I said that it was getting a bit dull, a bit boring, we have a safety car. And I mean, I should have said this around lap 3 or lap 4. I wouldn't have had to take us through so many drab laps. But it's safety car. Do shooter, Wicked Vicky, Harsh and Pratham box? I don't know if Oxidize will box. It looked to be pretty straightforward for Oxidize, but now it's a bit of a problem. Shooter will stay out, so will Wicked Vicky, Harsh and Pratham, so everybody's following the leader. Sometimes it's okay to be a sheep. Oxidize stays out. Noble Garter might box. I think Noble might box. Will he? No, he stays out. Shrikant, Ferrari should go for alternate strategies, and they do. Shrikant is boxing. Raman is boxing as well. Spandan also boxing. 7. He's boxing from hards. Not sure what 7 is trying to play at here, and he had to slow down quite a bit there. Swag Boy went from softs to softs. Not sure why he's done that, and he's trying to avoid the delta there. And there we go, the pit stop being made. Shrikant having to serve his 5-second penalty. That is gonna lose him quite a few places. And yeah, there you go. I'm not sure what's up with camera angles here today. Raman onto soft tires. I feel like that's a bit of a gamble, but it might pay off, because I think he should be able to do 7 odd laps easily without much issue. Malav will stay out, so Malav necessarily does not have to pit. Jin, he will pit. Hershey is an AI, so it doesn't matter. Hershey is also boxing. So, what I think is happening here is that the drivers are looking to wait for the rain. As you can see, the skies are becoming more and more gloomy, and we are going to have rain in the next few laps. I predicted lap 16, so I think that should be reasonable for the rain to arrive. And once it does, it's going to be a matter of who bites the bullet first. Who is going to go onto a fresh set of intermediate tires at the earliest possible convenience. Shrikant on those hard tires, I'm not sure why he's done that. Oh, what's happening here between Spandan and Swag Boy, who are weaving like there's no tomorrow. There's no better time to warm your tires than the present, and Swag Boy is embracing that culture very well, almost overtaking Spandan there, who is stuck behind F17, who is, well, not really stuck behind, he can't do it. It's behind safety car, you can't really overtake there. Yeah. There's not much going on. I'm not sure what I must say. Spandan trying to urge 7 to get a move on and speed up. I'm not sure why he's doing that, because nobody ahead of him is gonna box. I'm pretty positive of that. There you see, nobody is boxed, and nobody in their right mind would box at this point in time. If they had to, they would box on the previous lap. Spandan into the pit lane. Why? So I think he wanted to box, and that's why he was giving 7 the hurry up. But why would he box? Did he not realize it was rainy conditions towards the end of the race? I presume that's what's happened here with Spandan, because he's on a fresh set of soft tires now. Domithor, Domithor's a long way back. So I think that just shows how far back the tail end of the pack was. And the skies are becoming really gloomy. As you can see from shooters on board here, I don't think we have too many laps of dry running left in this race. So I think whoever has the fastest lap at this point in time might just be able to have it stick. What's happening between these two, 7 and Spandan? I'm looking at the wrong chart, sorry for that. So the fastest lap belongs to Shooter, 36.889. I think that might stay, because given the color of the sky right now, we may not have enough time for the soft runners to really get a move on. That would be Raman, 7, Swagboy, Spandan, who is going for a dive on You Can Beat Me, and what's he doing? He's given back the position there. So Swag Boy, I think he's in a very cold room right now where he's racing, because he is very eager to warm his tires up. Don't worry, Swag, your tires are going to be ample warm. As I can see there, they are over 90 degrees on your dash, so you should be good. Harshi's AI is at the start of the back straight, and did I see some rain? Did I see some rain? And yes, let's have a look at Spandan's penalty, Sidvi. So Spandan has 9 seconds of penalties at the moment. I think his second pit stop, the last pit stop that he just made, was just to get a 5 sec out the way, but will it really matter? He's such a long way back, so he's gonna fall such a long way back. It doesn't really matter. Maybe it will. And Sidvi saying that it is raining. I do see drops, so there you go. Confirmation that it is raining. The safety car is gonna stay out for one more lap at the very least. Will Shooter box? Shooter should look to take a gamble and box. No, nobody is boxing. Harsh is. So is Pratham. Oxidize is boxing as well. So I'm not sure why, but Shooter and Wicked Vicky have stayed out while the track is getting wetter. And I think you can already see the track getting a bit greasy here, the pit lane getting a bit greasy. I think everybody's going to go on to a set of intermediate tires, no doubt about that. Those in the pits will all be on a fresh set. Oh, Seven's having to stack behind Raman. Seven will... what's happening here? Oh, brilliant lag going on here. And yeah, one more lap of safety car running. Harsh, has he played an absolute masterstroke here, or has Shooter done himself any favors here? The safety car is out for one more lap. That means he has lesser time on this gradually becoming wet track. I'm not sure what's the right term for it. I'm really getting a bit too excited right now, considering all the possible opportunities that the drivers will have. Has Harsh bolted a bit too early? Has he bolted at the perfect time? Has Shooter waited too long, or has Shooter done just enough? Because mind you, it's not completely wet at the moment. I think that this could go either way. It could still be in Shooter's hands. Mind you, it is raining, but it might still end up in Shooter's hands because the track is not completely damp right now, and the dry tires will still have more grip than the intermediates at the restart, provided that the restart is on this lap. If it's not on this lap, I think Shooter is made a bit of a colossal mistake there. And why I say that it's still in Shooter's hands is because you can see that the intensity of the rain is relatively stable. I'm not saying it's not very high. Shooter should look to get a move on. He cannot risk waiting around and trying to get a good restart. He just needs to get a move on. He needs as many laps as he can in dry conditions. Oxidize and Spandan pick up a penalty. Something happening further back. I think there's a bit of backing up going on. I think both of them got a collision with Raman, a penalty for a collision with Raman. But let's look up ahead. Shooter still taking it tentative. He should hurry up. If he doesn't, that's going to be trouble for him. Spandan, Raman trading places. We will not focus on that. We will focus on Shooter at the moment. Are they going to dive into the pit lane? I do expect anybody from P1 to P8 to really just dive into the pit lane at this moment and lose the minimal amount of time. But Shooter's still going to go. He's going to stay out. And who's that? Shrikant is going to box. There you go. I did expect that from somebody. And Shooter leads the way. Somebody had a bit of a moment. I think that was Swag Boy, who was almost sideways onto the main straight. And Domitor makes the move on Swag Boy. Safety cars parked up at the end of the pit lane. What are the inter runners going to be able to do? Are they going to be able to gain enough time on the dry runners? So Pratham currently leads the way. Harsh lost a position, I think, at the restart there. And it's imperative for these two that they don't fight. Wicked Vicky and Shooter. They need to pull away. Let's pull up the gap to the leader. That is what we had pulled up initially as well. Harsh, I think Harsh was caught out by Harshi's bad restart. Obviously, Harshi is an AI at the moment. Raman and Oxidize coming very close. Oxidize going off track, having to go off track, and Spandan running into the back of the Red Bull there. The Red Bull coming back on track. And the two cars made contact. Spandan going for a dive there. My word. Spandan, there was some more avoiding action you could have done other than just braking. Seven and Oxidize very close. And they are all losing time to the leaders at this point in time. But mind you, the results could be different. One lap later, Ramin is still ahead of this chasing pack. Oxidized goes for the dive on Spandan. Spandan can't do much, and that AI car is really distracting here. 7 gets very close to the rear end of the McLaren there, and Malav, you can beat me. He can't do much, can he, at this moment in time? Pratham, he's there or thereabouts. The track is not getting dampered at a fast enough rate, so this they need to really go for it. Swag and Domathor trade places. Noble Carter is in the pit lane. Noble Carter has decided to cut his losses and pit early, but will that really be beneficial for him? Well, let's wait and find out. Noble onto those intermediate tires, no doubt about that. Harshi is still out on those intermediates. Oxidize also in the pit lane. I think Oxidize had he got a 5-sec penalty, so he'll have to serve that. I will have to charge my controller in just a moment. I will connect my cable. But yeah, this is getting very heated at the top here. Jin and what's going on? No, that's just Oxidize who's coming out the pit lane. So Noble's come out in P12. He was P4 or was he P3? Not sure. But regardless of that, he has lost 9 places. So, and he's just 8 seconds behind Malav at the moment. You can beat me. Do they pit? It's getting more intense. The rain's getting more intensive at the moment. There is going to be no shooters fastest lap will probably stand. Domathor and Swag are really going at it. They are battling tooth and nail for that P3, sorry, which will soon be in Pratham's hands because Pratham is catching up to them. And as I said, one lap after that prediction, observation that I made that they are losing time, now they're gaining time, the inter runners, on those dry runners. And I think this is Spandan and 7 going 7 around the outside. Spandan has the inside line. 7 won't have the grip there around the outside. And what do these two do? Do they pit? They do pit. Swag and Domathor are staying out. I don't get it. And DRS is enabled. So I'm a bit confused here. Pratham into turn 1, he's going to go for a dive on Swag Boy, and he might also get the better traction on both of them, and I think that's been the case. Domathor can't really defend on those soft tires, on those dry tires on a wet track. This is getting ridiculous for these two. They should have boxed along with Shooter and Wicked Vicky, but they have decided not to. Shooter comes out in P9. Wicked Vicky is just behind him in P10. We will follow this battle up ahead for the moment. Because mind you, Pratham has the better tires at the moment, and he also will have a helping hand in the form of DRS, which, given the conditions, is a bit surprising. Harsh needs to get a move on. He needs to get past Swag Boy ASAP. The rain lights are on. Every single car has the rain lights enabled, understandably so. 7, you can beat me. Spandan is not having a very good race. But up ahead, this is the lead of the race, being traded, hands being traded here. Domathor losing the place to Pratham, Swagboy losing the place to Harsh. And there you go, there's the spray, there's official confirmation that Shooter and Wicked V waited for the perfect time. So they'll have slightly fresher tires than these cars, Pratham, Harsh and Raman 7 and Co. But they are a long way back. Will they be able to close up in time? This is, it's unbelievable that they are able to keep it on track right now at that speed. But I have no doubt Domathor is going to box. Oh, and speaking of, it looked like Harsh was on those soft tires for a moment, given the way he was absolutely having to wrestle his car. DRS is still enabled. Hello PSI, nice to see you. And there you go, Harsh is ahead of Domathor, who is taking a massive gamble. I think Domathor is taking the gamble of the rain drying out. I think it might, as I said at the start of the race, it might be a passing shower. That's a safety car. Is that? No, that's not a safety car. Spandan might have retired in the pit lane. So yeah, it just happened on the main straight. By the looks of it, it looked like he had binned it there. No moves being made into turn 1 for those at the back. What's going on here? Shrikant, Jin and Harshi very close, and this is a nice battle here. Noble, you can beat me. Wicked Vicky, Shooter and 7. So 7 is not having a very particularly great time on those 4-lap-old intermediate tires. He's lost a lot of time to Shooter, and I think Shooter will get him down the back straight. There you go. 7 just has no grip at the moment. A yellow flag in Sector 1 for Spandan's retired car. And Shooter's gained the position. So is Wicked Vicky. He's ahead of 7 now, but Wicked Vicky might get the slipstream and might look to make a move at the end of the back straight. He does not. 7 might come back for more. What about Noble? And You Can Beat Me, who was very close to his teammate. For once in this race, we see the two Haas cars absolutely line astern, close together. Spandan has left the session. Unfortunate Spandan. Mistakes do happen. And yeah, just don't give that many penalties, Spandan. Noble Gata on the back of 7. I think 7... It's sad to see him having to hang on for dear life in the way that he is right now. And my word, You Can Beat Me, man, getting a penalty. Domitor and Sweg both pitting on the same lap, and there you go. I'm not sure why they shaved off that extra lap. They could have still salvaged something from that. But DR is disabled, so this is, by the looks of it, the right time to pit. And what does happen to Domitor? Oh, is he gonna be ahead? Noble Gata gets past 7. And yeah, 7 now in P7. Can he stay ahead of You Can Beat Me? Shrikant's a long way back. Jin almost coming back perpendicular to the track. Right beside Domitor, who is on fresh tires. Domitor and Sweg, their gamble did not pay off, but they are now fighting for the last point in this race, as you can see there from that brilliant camera angle. 7-7वीं में है, yes, PSI 7-7वीं में है, और वो 6810 वाले You Can Beat Me, तुम मुझे मार सकते हो को पीछे रख रहे हैं. Malav, what can he do? Can he get past 7? 7 in P7. Can he stay in P7? Yeah, I like this. I like to say it quite a bit. Shooter and Raman. Shooter should get past Raman in the next few laps. Harsh, what can he do in offensive with Pratham? And Caesar saying that Pratham is throwing a spanner in the championship battle. I think in a few races, if he keeps this up, Pratham might just be a very unlikely contender for a P3, P4 championship position. For the back, never mind, that's Oxidizer a long way back. He's 56 seconds behind the leader, and he is 31 behind the next car, who is struggling. I'm not sure what's happening to Jin under that Max Verstappen helmet. You can see Pratham and Harsh going into turn 2, and Jin is yet to finish his lap. So that just shows the brilliant topography of this racetrack. And Malav is in the pit lane, going onto a fresh set of inters, I believe. Is he taking a gamble? Oh no, he's retired. Oh. He was in the points as well. I'm not sure why he's decided to retire all of a sudden. Shrikant and Swagboy very close, going up into the SS section. This might not end well if they don't give each other enough racing room and racing respect. Hands are being raised in that Ferrari cockpit there, and they make contact. Will they make contact one more time? Swagboy, he has the better grip, but he just can't get past Shrikant. Something happened to Raman, I believe. Raman might have had a little moment there. That's a yellow flag for somebody else. Wicked Vicky getting past Raman as well. So it might not be over for Shooter and Wicked Vicky yet, because they are gaining a lot of time. Shrikant, Swagboy, Domitor. This is a brilliant battle, and this is for P8, mind you. Oh my word! Pratham has a penalty, and Harsh is past him. Oh, so in just a brief moment in time, the tides have turned, and now Swagboy going for a dive down the inside on Shrikant. Pratham's lost 2 seconds to Harsh already. The moment sees that Pratham's thrown a spanner in the championship battle here. There you go. If Pratham cannot regain his momentum, they will still be P1 and P2, Harsh and Shooter. This is quite remarkable what has happened here. Swag is now ahead of Shrikant, who now has Domitor breathing down his neck. Oh, Oh, Shrikant having a bit of a movement there under acceleration. I think this is not playing out very well for Shrikant, who is now down in P10. So one Ferrari is at the top end of the points in this race, and the other one is at the tail end of the points. Jin is right behind Shrikant now. So Jin and Shrikant both are struggling. I agree, Sidvi has been this way since the start of the sprint, but did I see a little ray of sunshine there? Literally, did I see a little ray of sunshine there? No, that's the track reflection. What is that? No, that's the TV reflection there. Oh. Oh, that is really, really underwhelming to see that this was just a TV reflection. And Sidvi saying, come on, Shrikant, do you mean come on as in come on, crash, or come on, make some moves, do something? 10 minutes says Sidvi for what? I'm not sure. Domathor went for a bit of an overly aggressive move there. Could not do much, and the Lone Star State is providing us with a very lonesome race for the majority of these 19 laps out of 28. And Jin saying that, Azun saying that rain will stop in 5 minutes. Jin's stream said. So, that will be interesting. 5 minutes, so what would that be? Where is Harsh right now? Harsh is about to end lap 19. I think Pratham just made a colossal mistake and picked up a 3-sec penalty in the process as well. He's regained some of that time he lost behind Pratham. Not 5 laps, Sid. I think that's going to be more like by the end of the 3.5 laps we should have the rain stop. So I think by the end of the 4th lap, so that would be around lap 24. Approximately lap 24, we should see drivers pitting for softs, if at all they decide to. There will be people who stay out on this tyre. I expect somebody from this top 5 will take a gamble and stay out on those tyres. Swag and 7 trading places. Swag has taken 7's favorite position off P7 from him. Now 7's down in P8. It's not looking very good for 7, who is... He's on 8 lap old tyres. He's lost... What is it? He was 11 seconds behind Raman, his teammate. And now he's... let's calculate. 13 seconds behind. So... He's lost a lot of times. 7 behind. Stuck behind all these cars. Pratham and Harsh trade places. Pratham back into the lead. Let's have a look at the interval now for a moment. Domathor and 7. Will Domathor make a move? I don't think he will, because 7 is probably using up some battery to stay ahead. And what can Pratham do? But can Pratham do anything at this moment in time? It's crucial for him that he get a move on and build up a big gap before the final dry stint, which I presume might happen. It's possible somebody will stay out. One of these two might stay out. It might be a case of, as Martin Brundle famously says, do whatever he doesn't do. For these two, one of them will probably... And oh, Raman in the box! Why? There's still a fair bit of rain, and Raman is going on to a set of, what is it, intermediate tires. Why? Why make the extra pit stop, Raman? And now Swag is into P6, Domathor is in P7. 7 also in the pit lane onto a set of fresh intermediate tires. But I think by the looks of it, so is Shrikant, but... And Azun saying that he was capping about the 5 laps of dry running. Domathor with a penalty. PSI wants to know the fastest lap. That belongs to Domathor with a 1:36.889. Currently in P3, but he's just 2.8 seconds behind the race leader and just over 2 seconds behind his championship rival. He's currently 14 points behind Harsh. What can Shooter do? Caesar saying that they're pitting for inters again. Yes. They can't get the fastest lap in these conditions, can they? Because Shooter's best lap was set on a set of medium tires in dry conditions. So that's just not going to be possible for them to beat. Jin and Raman. Jin having a massive lockup and being almost forced out by Raman there. So Jin He can box! Oh! Wow, wow. Whatever happened there between these two, I think Jin wasn't expecting Raman to close the door that early, and, and I think Jin should box. Jin's obviously struggling on those tires, unless it is actually gonna dry out, in which case, don't box. And once again, we get back to this little train here. I'm just a bit confused. I'm not sure what I should be focusing on. There's not a lot of action going on around the track. Raman might be able to close up to the back of Domithor and Swag very soon. PSI saying क्या कर रहा है जिन? तकलीफ हो रही है उसको भाई. क्या करेगा वो अभी? No lap पुराने टायर है उसके. बेचारा थोड़ा ये. And Azun wanting me to spectate shooter. He's close to Harsh. I don't think he might be able to make a move though. Or if he does it, Harsh will defend it. So, yeah, there's actually nothing else to focus on at the moment. Maybe there's a nice battle here going on. Shooter lost a little bit of time to Harsh. Harsh is there or thereabouts in regards to Pratham, but I think definitely Shooter has the upper hand right now on Harsh. So this might, the tides may have turned. Fortunes may change for these two in the next few corners. It may be. Not necessarily even the next few laps. Shooter coming very close to making contact with Harsh. But thankfully these two have a lot of respect for one another, and they are, even though they may be on the same party chat, they are championship rivals. Wicked Vicky picks up a penalty. And Shooter, this is game on for Shooter. He is on 3-lap pressure tires. So this is what I had said at the moment where Shooter had boxed. He will be on 3-lap pressure tires. It's up to him to make the most of this now. Pratham has a 3-sec penalty. With Shooter's pace right now, he might be able to stay within touching distance. Swagboy, I think, has had a moment. Yep, Swagboy going rumble over the curbs and falling down to P8. Just ahead of Jin, who is struggling as well. Shooter, what can he do? Shooter is very, very close to his championship rival, also his very good friend Harsh. But they go towards the end, start of Sector 2. Harsh getting a better, Shooter getting a better run on Harsh. They make contact! These two, they don't need to make contact. They don't have to make contact. Shooter breaking early. No, 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 no! Oh my word, this is remarkable. Now Wicked Vicky is picking up the pieces. He will use some battery. He will deplete all his battery, as you can see there from his dash. This has opened up a nice window for him. And Shooter and Harsh came to blows there. I don't think either of them were expecting the other to break when the other one did. But Harsh is backing up Wicked Vicky into Shooter by the looks of it. Yes, Caesar, and they touch. That is brilliantly... It's unbelievable what's happening here. Shooter has the outside line. And as they go towards turn 16, I want to say, once again, I don't know my corner names, but numbers, sorry. But this point in time, Pratham's pulled away a 3.7 second gap. He needs to pick up the pace and keep this up if he wants to have any chance at holding on to the win. PSI is not over yet. A yellow flag for Swagboy. Oh my word! Wicked Vicky had a bit of a snap there. And Shooter going up the hill will definitely have the advantage on Wicked Vicky. And once again, the order is restored. P2 and P3 are the championship rivals. Wicked Vicky stepped in for a moment there to cause a bit of chaos, but couldn't do much. And regardless of that, he does have a penalty, so it might not really pan out for him there in the end. Shrikant and Jin trading places. Jin, Swag is retired on the track. Oh, there's a safety car! Swag is crashed at turn, 13, 14. Pratham will be cursing that crash from Swagboy. I don't know. Shooter! Harsh! The most unexpected turn of events. Shooter has, I believe, made contact with Harsh while they were slowing down for their delta, and Shooter is gonna score 0 points from this race weekend. And this has rendered me absolutely speechless. Seven picks up a drive-through. Okay, I thought it was somebody at the front of the field. Pratham box. Oh wow, this is remarkable. What's just happened here in this moment? 7 picks up another drive-through. What's he doing? Pratham might box. Pratham will stay out. No, he's gonna come in. What does Wicked Vicky do? Wicked Vicky will stay out. Harsh is boxing, and Noble Garter is also, I think he might box. It's in his best interest to box. The rain is still there. And what does Harsh go on to? No doubt it's a fresh set of... Oh, sorry. What do I mean to say? Sorry. Where will Harsh come out on track? Will he come out ahead of Raman, who I'm pretty sure will not box? Obviously, he's going to go on to intermediate tires. That's a bit of a problem on mine. But Harsh should get out ahead of Raman without too many issues. Yeah, he is. There you go. He's going up the hill, and yeah. That's just racing sometimes. And Harshi is just... he has just passed Shooter's this DNF car. So, Wicked Vicky taking the risk, staying out on 10 lap old intermediate tires. Harsh, Pratham, Harsh, Noble Garter, Domithor, Shrikant, Jin, 7 as well, Oxez also. Everybody is boxing. But there are a lot of penalties up and down the field. Let's have a look at the gap to the leader. So, I think it's one more lap of safety car. We should have the safety car come in on the next lap. Caesar saying Harsh for the W and a big lead after tonight. I think that is definitely the case, but pretty sure there might be a report coming his way, courtesy of Shooter. I mean, he's also in a very good position right now. He is one of the few drivers, the other ones being Noble and Jin, who don't have a single penalty in this race at the moment. Wicked Vicky has a racetrack penalty, so does Pratham, so does Raman, so does Domithor, so does Shrikant, so does Oxidize, and 7 has a pair of drive-throughs. If he is not able to serve them, I mean, he's just gone a bit deeper to that corner onto the AstroTurf there. 7 goes 7. And this race was filled with monotony for the entirety of the first 20 or so laps. And all of a sudden, we have massive drama right towards the end here. Harsh, he will definitely, if he's reported by Shooter, then Harsh's prospective win could be under threat. But then again, mind you, Pratham could still do something. If Wicked Vicky lets Pratham go and so on, Azun saying that Noble will win. It's entirely possible Noble could win. I'm not ruling that out. Because I believe at the moment, pending Stewards inquiry, I would like to put Harsh down as a possible candidate for getting a penalty. Lap 26, Oxidize is just starting lap 26, so we are gonna have 2 laps of unfiltered, non-stop racing action to the checkered flag once we cross the line. I'm trying to replicate something that Crofty did back in Abu Dhabi 21, but that's just not gonna happen at this point in time, is it? And Azun saying that top 7 crash because of a certain Ferrari, bracket Shrikant, and Jin wins. Yeah, Jin is also in a very good position. Let's have a look at the gap to the leader. So Jin is 6 seconds behind Wicked Vicky, and he is on fresh tires. But mind you, he was struggling on those old intermediates. So hopefully it was the fact that we were struggling on those old intermediates as opposed to struggling with a setup. because that would be pretty problematic. But those who don't have penalties at this moment in time are Jin, Noble, and Harsh. All three of them could capitalize massively on this. However, that's not to say that they won't have any misfortunes of their own. I think pretty sure the safety car will be coming in this lap. It's up to Wicked Vicky to take us away at the restart. And as you can see, the rain has disappeared. There is no more rain. The track is still very damp. There's still a lot of spray, but there is no more rain. That is it. This is going to be a brilliant conclusion. It's going to boil down to the last lap, I believe. And it's anyone's game from this point on. Wicked Vicky needs to get a good restart. Pratham needs to get past at the earliest possible moment. Harsh needs to make his move on Pratham and Wicked Vicky to, if he has any chance of holding on to the win in a comfortable manner. Raman is P4. He has a penalty. Noble is in a very good position, but regardless of all that, it comes down to Wicked Vicky to lead us at the final safety car restart of this United States Grand Prix. He is struggling with his rear end. He's taking it tentative. He has to. He doesn't have the tire grip, but Wicked Vicky leads the way and starts lap 27, 6 tenths ahead of 7 tenths ahead of Pratham. He got a very good drive out of the last corner. Dominar picks up a penalty. Harsh and Pratham. Harsh going for a dive down the inside. Willie. Pratham once again taking his favorite outside line, but that won't really help. Or will it? Pratham will have superior traction. Harsh and Pratham coming very close. And Harsh has to hang back for now. Dominar picked up a 5-sec penalty and loses a place to Oxidize right now, but I will not focus on that, because Raman's right there behind this triage of cars led by Wicked Vicky, who is struggling on those tires. He has a penalty. He is on 10 lap older tires than those around him. Raman's the only outlier here. But as we go on to the backstage, there is no rain. There is a lot of spray though. And it could be a move being made here for Shrikant on Noble Garter. Noble Garter has to cede the place for now. Jin also loses the place. But look at this. Raman and Harsh very close. Pratham and Wicked Vicky very close. Anybody's game at this moment in time. Raman might go for a dive down the inside at the end of the backstage. Willie, he decides not to. Pratham gets past Wicked Vicky, but I think he goes off track, so that's going to give the place back to Wicked Vicky. Harsh is going to be right there to pick up the pieces if anything happens between these two. He makes contact with Wicked Vicky. Wicked Vicky is now struggling to stay behind Pratham. Oxidaz picks up another penalty. Shrikant is now to P5 somehow, and Noble loses a place to Oxidaz. Willie. Oxidaz getting a place, but also immediately losing it to Noble Garter. Harsh has not been able to make up too much ground at this restart here, but he has just one car ahead of him right now, who's gonna be a bit of a problem if Wicked Vicky makes him lose a lot of time. Oh, never mind. Wicked Vicky just breaks there. Maybe Wicked Vicky is trying to get a good exit out of this corner and deploy his battery on the run up to turn 1. Noble Garter's fallen back. Something happened to Noble Garter. Oh no, that's 7 in the pit lane. He's surveying his drive through. Jin into P7. Jin is gonna score some good points. Noble's gonna score some good points. Shrikant and Raman trade places. Raman, is he gonna be able to stay ahead? Wicked Vicky has obviously not been able to make the move on Harsh once again. Raman is right there. He's having to hold off Shrikant. Shrikant is very, very feisty right now. Shrikant could possibly make a move in this SS section. And Raman could also look to make a move on Wicked Vicky. It would be a guaranteed podium for him, I think, if he gets past Wicked Vicky at the earliest possible convenience. But then again, so could Shrikant. Shrikant could also pick up a possible podium here. Anything's possible. Oxidize, I think, is going to be a long shot for him. Jin, Noble, it's not worked out for them, but it's really worked out for Harsh. He is 1.6 behind Pratham, but thankfully for him, Pratham has a 3-sec penalty, and all Harsh needs to do is keep it on the track within the white lines. If he does that, there's going to be no problems for him. If he puts one wheel over the white line, he will be in a whole world of trouble. Raman was forced out a bit wide there by by Shrikant, and now he's lost the place to Oxidize as well. Shrikant trying to get the move made on Wicked Vicky, who is hanging on by the skin of his teeth. And I don't understand how, but Harsh has pulled off, Pratham's pulled off a 2-second gap in just 2 laps. Shrikant, this is the battle for the final podium place. I think Pratham's going to cross the line in first place, but he will not be winning the race for that. accolade will go to Harsh. No, will it? It's gonna be so close. I don't think Harsh will get the win. Harsh does not get the win here. What's it? Jin is on the podium. In the most unlikely scenario at this point in time, somehow Harsh bottled it in the last sector, and he was 1.6 behind as they ended sector 2. He was 3.2 by the time they reached the checkered flag. So he's lost so much time to Pratham, and for the second race in a row, Pratham wins the United States Grand Prix, followed by Harsh. Pratham had a 3-sec penalty and still managed to hang on to the win somehow. Harsh, despite not getting the win, has still picked up a good haul of points from this race. He is P2 with 18 points, and out of absolutely nowhere, I don't understand how, but Jin has bagged P3 on merit. He did not have a single penalty, track limit penalty, this entire race. Wicked Vicky's gamble did pay off in the end, for he did hang on to P4, and I just realized that Jin has made 5 pit stops. Raman finishes P5 from P10, a good effort. Noble Garter finishes P6, Oxidize is P7, Shrikant's 8, Ramithos stays where he started in P9, and 7 finishes P10. Harshi, Shooter, Swagboy, You Can Beat Me, Spandan, and Rasam were our non-finishers. And that is unbelievable for Shooter. We have not seen these two come to blows, make contact since Australia, I believe, at the start of the season. And that's when PSI was in the comms box with me. But yeah, it's time to get the top 3 in the party chat with us. And yeah, there you go. We should be adding Jin, Harsh, and Pratham, who I can't find in the list. So I'll request them to. I'll request Jin and Harsh to add him, and see the thing that Jin back on the podium on his first race as a full-time driver. I agree, that is the best way to celebrate your return to full-time racing. And Jin with a brilliant drive, keeping it clean really does pay off. Wow. And as we wait for the top 3 to join the party, I'd just like to take this moment to drink some water, because that was a hectic final 2 laps of the race. And Jin has joined us. Hello Jin, is your audio sharing enabled?
It always is. You know it.
Yes. Jin, just one request before we start. If you have Pratham added on your friends list, can you please just invite him to the party? I can't find him.
Yes, I will. Just give me a second. I'm going to shut off my own stream first, and then I'm going to invite Pratham, alright?
Alright, that should be perfect.
Alright. First of all, thank you, stream, for watching the race. Yeah, pretty entertaining. Pretty boring from my side as well, but it is what it is. And we go onwards and upwards. I forgot who said that, but yeah, onwards and upwards we go.
Very humble of you to say it was a boring race, considering you finished in P3, keeping it clean right at the end there. While we wait for Harsh and Pratham to join.
I'm trying to find Pratham first, and then we can start with the interview. Alright, just let me invite Pratham.
PSI asking the stream is still on. Yes, it very much is. Why? What's happened, PSI?
Shutting off the stream, Sai, as in I was shutting off my stream. I hope you didn't confuse what I was trying to say. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's a bit of a confusion there.
Sorry, IRL stream, whoever's watching, if you got confused by that. Yeah, I invited Pratham.
Thank you. Thank you, Jin. I'm just going to ask Harsh and Pratham to join the party. I don't think they are very interested in joining us right now.
Yeah, should we wait for them or like?
We will start with your interview right now.
Okay.
I'm just tagging them.
Time.
Yes. Yes, Jin, so Pratham's here. I am not sure if Harsh just joined because I was looking at my Discord screen. But we do start with you, Jin. PSI
Yes.
wants to ask you before I start, is the stream still on? And with the Portuguese flag. So make of that what you will.
Yes, I will. I'll answer it. I'll answer him later. That's a side quest for now.
Yeah, side quest. Okay, let's get back to the main mission right now. Jin,
Yes.
there was a moment in the race where you were struggling to keep it on track. You were having to drift, you locked up, you went off track, you were having quite a few off track excursions, but despite all that, you kept it clean and you pitted under that final safety car. You kept it
Yeah.
clean, and I think you crossed the line in P8, but keeping it
Yes.
clean gave you P3. Walk us through your
Yes.
race, Jin.
Uh, you want me to walk you through so qualifying was a mess as always because the first lap was a banker, so it was a very, very safe lap done. The second lap, when I tried to go out, my teammate came into the garage at that very point, and I literally crossed the line to start the lap, my final lap with 1 second on the timer. And by that time, my tires and ERS were both short because I had to make the line somehow, some way. So, yeah, not a very good lap. Sprint was a case of me not trying to take risks because I don't see a point in it. It's just, I don't know, is this a contest to not lose many positions from your actual grid slot in qualifying? The race was very interesting. I got overtaken by my teammate off the track. And when I tried to go side by side with him, thinking that he would give me the position, what I got in return was a broken front wing. So yeah, had to pit on lap 2. The game didn't change my wing. Pit again on lap 3 to change my wing, go on to softs. And then during that safety car, there was a period between the crossover period, there was a safety car, if I'm correct. No, I'm correct. Yeah, what am I saying? Yeah, so during the crossover period, I wasn't gonna box, but because the entire pack had bunched up, and I think there was an Aston in front of me which suddenly sped up and slowed down in reaction to the cars in front. I broke my front wing again, so I had to pit again. Then, at this moment, at least it was inters, and my only intention at that point was let's not get time penalties because I already was on 2 warnings by that point, and I really didn't want to get a time penalty. And there was a moment during the final safety car where I spun because my rear tires were at 74% by then and they were short. So I was rear locking everywhere. Had the race gone on normally, I probably wouldn't have finished as high, but luckily, Lady Luck smiled upon me when I needed her the most. And yeah, at one point I was thinking, is it worth it? Is this race worth it? Am I worth it? But I put the thing, flipped it up.
And reversed
So
it. Yeah.
yeah.
What a
That led to
brilliant
P3 for me.
Yes.
I think it's a 5-stop masterclass. Last week it was
Yeah.
4 stops. This week it's 5 stops.
Are we going to see 6 next time round?
Yeah, probably.
Could be. And 6 could be the lucky number. PSI does like it very much. And Sid was saying that it's a very costly race and expensive race for McLaren. I agree.
Yeah.
So many front wings changed, and that was. I don't get I did capture that incident on stream though with the Spandan. So I think you two are going to be on very good talking terms, very best friends.
Yeah,
In the form of teammates,
I wasn't the only one. Let's just say I wasn't the only one who was, a bit critical of him during the race.
Well, teammates do bring out the best in one another. In this case, it might not be the same. But Jin, massive congrats to you. This is a brilliant, very well deserved P3 for you. And let's put it pending stewards inquiry. If you haven't been involved in any incidents, you might gain a few more if
Yes.
these two ahead of you are reported. But for the moment, Jin, very well done and massive congrats to you. Brilliant.
Thank you, Shiv.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
Now we move on to the championship leader and also a very person I've been like waiting to speak to since what was it, lap 22? I want to say lap 22 or lap 23. Harsh, you here?
Hi, chaps.
Hi,
Yes,
Harsh. So before I ask any other questions, I just want to ask you. I was the only one on stream, so I could not really keep focus on y'all. But can you just let me know what happened there? If there was any contact between you and Shooter at that moment where he retired at the top of the hill?
Uh, yeah, so let me just take you through my whole race.
Yeah.
Qualifying was okay. P4 honestly was expecting better. I had really good pace. I don't know what happened. Actually, I had put a really bad setup. I thought it would rain from the beginning of the race. That's where I messed up, and I was not used to with my setup. Yeah, that's why qualifying was bad. And then sprint, I thought it was a good opportunity to go on soft, maybe make a few positions. But the softs died out pretty soon, so it was just defending against success the rest few of laps. And yeah, coming to the race, quite the heated battle Shooter and I had going into lap one, I think. Yeah, then after that, it was just Pratham and I petting for enters early and then Shooter catching up, right? All of that happens. Uh, yeah, then safety car comes lap 24 and going into sector 2 with a negative delta. So I start braking, I think, on the racing line and Shooter had a negative delta, but it was not as much negative as I did. So, and because it was wet, so Shooter did not see me parked on the road. Not to say that it's his fault, it's probably my fault because I was slowed down on the racing line. But yeah, that's what happened, and that's the reason I didn't even feel like I don't think I deserve the win because what happened today was like very, very disappointing for Shooter and I both.
You do sound quite frazzled, Harsh. I will give that to you. So I think you like, taking some blame already for that incident on your own shoulders.
I mean, see, that's the thing, Chips. It was raining, so maybe there could be the case that Shooter didn't see me clearly because it was safety car. But again, I really don't want to get into all of that. Shooter's a really good friend. I don't want to argue with him on
Yeah.
this.
All right, I get that. If that makes you uncomfortable, you won't talk about that anymore. But regardless of that, Harsh, I must say it was a very good fight by you in the sprint in those last few laps. Very, you were hanging on to dear life on those soft tires. That was really remarkable to see. Those around you were all on mediums, and they were really struggling. Sorry to get past you. It was only the final lap where you had a bit of a moment on those soft tires.
Yeah,
Uh,
no, it was not really a movement there because I knew Oxidize probably had more straight line than me, so I went maximum defensive. But it was still clean because I talked with Oxidize and he said there was nothing wrong that I did. So yeah, it was just me being defensive against Oxidize that lost us a bunch of time to the leaders.
all right.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, and that's your sprint and your main race. So I assume you lifted off at the end there.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
didn't deserve the win. That's why. Congrats to Pratham though. He really did deserve the win. He was rapid in the wits.
we were all very shocked in the chat here to see you go from 1.6 to 3.2 in one single sector. But nonetheless, Harsh, it's been a good drive by you. I think you can still be happy with this result. You have got some very crucial points for the championship. You have picked up 18 crucial points, which might come really handy towards the end of the season. And Sidvi is congratulating you for your sporting dignity. Well done, Harsh. I do commend you as well. That is respectful. But yeah,
Thank you, chaps.
we do carry on. Incidents happen. Just remember that, Harsh. Don't beat yourself up too much about it. Incidents happen. Just we learn
Feel
from it
bad,
and we move on.
feel worse for Shooter, man. I mean, he had so good pace today. But yeah, thanks for the encouraging words, chaps. Really.
Incidents happen. Just we move on. We learn. We move on.
Yeah.
And yes, well done, Harsh. Really well done. Congrats to you. And we move on to our race winner finally. Pratham. Audio sharing enabled, Pratham? Is your audio sharing enabled? Yeah, if somebody in chat can please let us know if they can hear Pratham. I think this was the same case last week.
I think I enabled it. I just enabled
Yeah,
it.
provided you haven't changed any
Yeah,
settings from last week, it should all be all good.
yeah, just it's enabled.
So, Pratham, you no, they can't hear you, Pratham. So, if
Nah, I enabled it. It should be.
Now it is. Okay, so PS, I can hear you now. Okay, working. Perfect. So, Pratham,
Yep.
you took the race win at Spain on the very last lap. You immediately followed up by leading every single lap of the sprint race. Obviously, you took pole before that, and here in the final race, in the main race, you won it on the final lap,
I
be
mean,
it.
the win,
But yeah,
I have to thank
walk us through your race.
Hershey. Yeah, I mean, for the race, he did let me win. I did have good pace, but I wouldn't have gapped him enough in the final lap anyways, so it's all thanks to Harsh. But quali was, like, my banker was decent. When we won with the banker, I think, and then final lap I was improving by quite a bit. I was a good 2.5 tenths up on my time, and I would have gained a little bit more, but then I bottled it in sector 3. But fortunately, the banker was enough, so luckily I got pole. In sprint I had a decent start, and then it was just a DRS train that I couldn't make a single mistake because Wicked and Shooter were literally right on my tail the whole race. Final couple of laps, I had my entire battery saved, so I deployed. I think Wicked made a slight mistake in lap 9 in sector 3, which made the gap 7, 8 tenths, and with the amount of battery that I had, and I was quicker in sector 1, he was quicker in sector 2, so it neutralized the thing, so I kept the lead for the sprint. Going into the race, my race start was really bad, and going into turn 1, Wicked was marginally ahead, and there was a yellow flag, and so I like on the exit we were side by side. I was a little bit ahead, but it said illegal overtake because going into the corner Wicked was ahead, so I had to lift and I gave him the position. And I made a mistake going into like on lap 1 in the left-hander, which cost me 2 more positions. Wicked, Shooter and Harsh passed me until the safety car. It was just that DRS train. Then in the safety car, like it started raining, so Harsh and I decided to box, which was risky. But when the second safety car came, I had a 3 second, but I was still 4.5 seconds ahead. But I don't know, like I think Shooter and Harsh would have caught back up to me. But I had really good pace in the wets, regardless. And then after the second safety car, yeah, we boxed. I overtook Wicked, and then Harsh just let me win. Thanks to him again for that.
Despite that, Pratham, you did have to keep it on track. It was not possible for every driver to keep it on track. Quite a few.
Bottled it.
I did almost bottle it once. If you saw,
yes.
And that's what gave me my third warning also. I don't know how, like I'm half sideways outside the track, but it still gave me a 3 sec like a warning.
Hey, wait, come on, don't question Codemasters.
So,
why do you question Codemasters?
I lost more than 3 seconds there anyways. I lost like a good 3-4 seconds there.
Don't question Codemasters.
Codemasters, can't do anything about it.
But Pratham, you are doing wonders for the Alpine name in IRL. Me and PS have been a bit guilty of not doing much for it in D1. However, you have been absolutely shining it bright in D2.
Thank you.
Very, very well done, Pratham. You have 2 wins in a row.
Yeah, very recent form.
Yeah. Really, really well done to you. Congrats to you, Pratham.
Jin also.
Yeah.
A good race.
Thanks, Pratham. Just goes on to show that if you don't get a time penalty, things are still possible.
Yeah, exactly. Bro, I saw behind me, everyone had a penalty except Harsh.
That was remarkable to see. But yeah, I think we should call it here. Congrats to you, Pratham. Congrats to Harsh. Congrats to you, Jin. Really, really well done to everyone for a brilliant race finish. It was a bit dull at times, but we did have a brilliant conclusion, a D2 conclusion.
With COTA, the possibilities for that are quite a lot because it's the way the track is.
Yeah, the nature of the track just doesn't allow for that much action. Then again, never say never. We might have a car flipped upside down tomorrow in D1. Who knows? Let's see. We do wait for D1 tomorrow. Until then, thank you to all the drivers, thank you to all the viewers, thank you to all those who dropped a message in the live chat. And this is me, Chips, signing out. Until next time, stay tuned for the D1 race tomorrow and next week for the next D2 race at Mexico, I would like to say. But until then, thank you, take care, good night, and bye-bye.